Hey there folks, and welcome to this video. The World Endurance Championship is back, and it is in the Lone Star State. Let's talk about the Circuit of the Americas, let's talk about the Lone Star Le Mans. And we'll start off with talking about some of the lineup changes, because there are actually a couple. For instance, you are going to see a change over at Toyota. Mike Conway is injured again, which means Jose Maria Lopez will be called up to drive the number 7. That then has a knock-on change with the Acodis ASP Lexus, where after Ben Barnicoat returns from injury, Jack Hawksworth will be driving the 87 instead of the 78. And let's talk about the schedule quickly. I'm going to give the times in local time, comparing it to UK time. It is 6 hours behind the UK, so I'll give some bits in UK time as well. But starting off on the Friday, free practice 1 is at 11:30 AM local, and FP2 is at 4 PM. On the Saturday, FP3 is at 11 AM with qualifying starting at 3 PM. For those of us in the UK, that means it is going to be starting at around 9. It will then finish about an hour later with the Hyperpole for Hypercar. The race itself starts at 1 PM local time and runs for 6 hours. So in the UK, it's going to be a late night if you're watching it on Sunday. It starts at 7, it ends at 1 in the morning. And we can quickly talk about the balance performance as well, because there have been a few changes when you compare it to last time out in Brazil. The car that sees the least changes is the Aston Martin Valkyrie. The only change that it has is a adjustment where the maximum stint energy is reduced by 1 megajoule. On top of all of that, there are changes to other manufacturers. The Cadillac, for example, will see an increase of 19 kilos in dry weight. The Porsche, an increase in 12 kilos. The Alpine, an increase in 1, whilst the BMW will lose 2. And then in power, below 250k, in terms of kilowatts, Alpine is down 6, BMW is down 8, Cadillac is down 5, Porsche is down 13, and Toyota is down 1. And then in terms of the power gain after 250 clicks, the adjustment will be +1 for the Alpine, plus 1.4 for the BMW, plus 0.9 for the Cadillac, minus 0.8 for the Ferrari, minus 1.3 for the Peugeot, plus 2.5 for the Porsche, and plus 0.2 for the Toyota. There is also a decrease generally across the board for the maximum stint energy. The car affected the most, the BMW on -5, then -4 for the Porsche, -3 for the Ferrari, then -2 for the remaining manufacturers that I haven't mentioned already. Meanwhile, in the GT3s, there is also a slight difference between how each of the manufacturers are going to be coming into this event. Perhaps the biggest thing will just be the weight, without the success ballast, because there is also a success ballast for some of these cars. The BMW is down 26 kilos. They will have the biggest change in weight. Then the Ford is down 17. The Corvette is down 10. Down 9 is the McLaren. Down 5 is the Mercedes, and down 2 is the Porsche. The Lexus doesn't have any weight change, and then it's an additional 8 kilos for the Ferrari and an additional 9 for the Aston Martin. There is some change to the stint energy as well. 8 megajoules are taken out of the Ford, 5 are taken out of the Corvette, whilst there is an additional 1 for the McLaren, an additional 2 for the Aston, the BMW and the Ferrari, an additional 3 for the Lexus, an additional 5 for the Mercedes, and an additional 7 megajoules in stint energy for the Porsche. It means the Mercedes still has the longest stint run in theory. It has the maximum capacity out of the field. But it does mean that the order shakes up a little bit behind them. And let's quickly turn the clocks back 12 months, because you could think that Conway getting back into the 7 could be a good omen for Toyota. They've really struggled this year, but last year Conway, Kobayashi and De Vries were second. They were 1.78 seconds behind the winner, which was car 83, the car that won Le Mans. Robert Kubica, Robert Schwartzman and Yifei. Rounding out the podium, Third place was the number 50 of Rocco, Molina and Nielsen, just ahead of the Cadillac of Bamber and Lynn, and an Alpine of Chatan, Habsburg and Milesi. In the LMGT3, it was Heart of Racing that won, with Ian James, Daniel Mancinelli and Alex Riberas. Now, granted, we do have a change because some of the Heart of Racing guys are in the hypercar now. But behind them was the Manthey Pure Racing of Bachler, Malikan and Sturm, and then the Manthey EMA of Leitz, Schuring and Shaheen. Ahead of a McLaren, a BMW and a Mustang. So I guess the question is now, who are the ones to watch? You'd want it to be Cadillac Hearts Team Jota if you're looking for a multiple manufacturer title fight, right? I mean, they are third in the standings. They are ahead of Rocco, Molina and Nielsen, but they are behind Collado, Giovinazzi and Pierre Guidi. They are also quite a bit behind second place as well of Hansen, Kubica and Ye. So it is going to be a mountain to climb, but there are still 3 races of 8 left in the championship. They are also the only ones in the top, 6 who have finished in the top 10 at every race this season. Granted, they've only had 1 podium, but it was the win last time out. May also want to see Toyota have a return to form. Their best result of the season so far is 4th even. Hartley, Hirakawa and Buemi had a 4th place at Spa, but the best running car is a 7, who had a 5th. And then in LMGT3, if you're going to want to keep an eye out for a title battle, you're going to hope that the Vista AF Corsa will get close to the Manthey first form entry. TS Sport, you'll also hope to have a good run, whilst you might want to see if Akodis ASP are able to get a good run as well in the event. We could see a variety of different manufacturers competing at the front, especially with the BOP going the way it is. I would expect that this benefits the likes of Ferrari, who did suffer from the BOP at Sao Paulo, but it should also in theory benefit Toyota a little bit as well, who are looking to try and see the car perform a lot better now, because the BOP has harmed them quite a bit this year. And likewise, in light of the BOP, Mercedes are going to try and hope that something else can benefit them. But when you see that the BMW, which is great in a straight line, has had a lot of weight taken off, and likewise the Ford Mustang, you're going to expect that cars that were competitive at Road America could also be competitive at COTA. But anyway, folks, those are just my thoughts, feelings and observations. Thank you so much for watching and joining. Let me know any thoughts that you have in the comment section down below. Hope to see you again in the next few days, when hopefully I'll be able to get a review out early next week. Until then, it's bye-bye for now.